Imagine looking out of your window as the airplane begins to descend upon Greece, the birthplace of Western civilization. This was the magnificent view that students, faculty, staff, and of course President Muthanna witnessed as they landed on the beautiful island.
I would like to emphasize regarding this training program that we took students to Greece. First, this program is very important for the university, which we should equip students as much as we can of skills and experience.
While the trip was for graduate students in the College of Media and Mass Communication to gain hands-on experience and put their coursework in the Master of Arts in Security and Strategic Studies in action, the experience of meeting Mr. Prokopis, President of the Republic of Greece, reinforced how vitally important their studies are globally.
Part of our program is to provide a hands-on experience to our students in terms of security, strategy, international affairs, and diplomacy. Therefore, we came quite soon to the outcome that our students need to go out in the field, explore the world besides the United Arab Emirates, in making sure to be aligned with a course and program learning outcome.
The importance is it shows the soft skills and the critical skills of thinking in the security environment, meeting the key leaders and seeing the other government outside of the GCC.
The students were familiarized with international elements of strategy and security. They put to the test their current knowledge in the field, yet they were able to interact and gain knowledge on variables that may change depending on the geopolitical location and strategic interest of each country, in this case, Greece.
I went with them to learn also about such a training program. I went with them also when I heard that there are very high-profile people going to meet us, such as the Minister of Defense and even the President of the country and the high commanders. They were really so keen and interested to meet the students.
Actually, what I learned that we learned many things about Greece experience in defense, as I said, their policies and facing challenges and threats that they have, such as refugees, crisis.
Students were able to locate the strategic positioning of Greece, realize the challenges and threats considering the current economic and global crisis that occurs.
It was a trip full of learning and so many aspects that made us learn capabilities and see stuff that we didn't even see, like in front of us, from military bases and strategic bases.
This kind of trips will add a lot of value and a lot of experience to the student in the American University and the Emirates.
They questioned key leaders from the armed forces, the land and sea components, but also in the field of intelligence as well. They confirmed the good, steadily evolving relations between the two great countries, the United Arab Emirates and Greece. They seek out to increase the cooperation, so does the university.
The philosophy of this university that we should bridge the gap between theory and practice. We want to graduate leaders. We don't want to graduate only manpower or skilled manpower. We want to graduate leaders. They have enough knowledge, enough industrial experience, and also the soft skills. They have to be creative. They have to be initiative. They have to have a critical thinking. They should think outside the box. They should make a decision in crisis. So those will help them to lead the country and the neighboring country in the future and participate in developing those countries.
The students were well acquainted with the protocol procedures. They were acquainted with the elements that come with when you meet the first citizen of a country. They were very well acquainted with the security apparatus that comes when you decide to go on a formal visit that is very well informed by the two embassies, whether this was the Greek embassy in Abu Dhabi or whether this was the United Arab Emirates embassy in Athens. Having said that, I believe that the students were greatly introduced to a different culture, different civilization, different geostrategic and geopolitical interests, different assumptions, ideas, ideologies, different understanding of how the world works.
So very important to our students in both our university and our reinforcement of our courses and our university and security in general.
How we can manage a simulation that work for us as I'm working in the Ministry of Interior, how I can implement the same way that they do the simulation in my work. I return back with a very, very amazing experience, and I'm really trying to teach my workmate how to do these things.
The students also visited the NATO missile firing installations in Crete, where they were briefed about the missiles and guidance missions, operation war rooms, and seen the importance to exercise as well as the lessons learned and the recommendations. Always followed by the security apparatus set for them, they were guided to the range where more training sessions were placed on site and operations and trainings was conducted. They were shown and explained how missiles work and how far they ranges, where they are fired, and the necessity and importance in defense and or as supporting elements to military operations.
Taking the students outside the classroom environment is very important because it reinforces what's being taught. It shows them how they can physically apply it and how it's being applied by others of the same type of people outside of the GCC, outside of the UAE. Security is critical in every element of the government and the day-to-day life, as well as the outside world. They need to see how it's being applied. They need to see how they interchange with their own government.
Our students need to be well aware and well acquainted with the protocol procedures, with the management procedures, with the decision-making efforts, and the bilateral relations. This trip was a first very good attempt to learn how things are done, how things are managed. We as faculty, we have managed to evaluate and have the lessons learned and the recommendations for the next day and the next trips to come. And I can assure you that these trips will be an integral part of the Masters in Security Studies, and we will try to implement as much wider multidisciplinary approach as possible in order to have all and more students be acquainted at the success story that is called American University in the Emirates.
As the contingent explored the ruins of Greece, it was of no surprise to find food reminiscent of home, honeyed cheese and spices. Each and every culinary adventure reminded them of Greece's cultural significance to the Middle East. From the black sand of Santorini to the Parthenon Temple, every site is a wonder to behold. On a map, Greece appears as the crossroad where people journey to Europe, Asia and Africa. Ultimately, everything found in the modern world has a Greek origins. Renewed, refreshed and excited, the American University in the Emirates team returned to the United Arab Emirates, committed to expanding its relationship with the beautiful Republic of Greece.
I learned many things. So what it's added for me that I understand and I see their experience in writing policies, cooperation with other nations, and that's what helped me in my work field.
Okay, this is very important for us that we want to thank the President, His Excellency, the President, and the Minister of Defense and all the commanders there. Really, they were very generous in giving us and the students enough time to talk to them, ask them many questions. Especially now, Greece is facing a big problem with those refugees coming from Turkey. But regardless of this problem, the President stayed with us more than 45 minutes talking and taking pictures and joking with the students, and it was really very nice. Also, I want to mention that he is a professor at the university, and he can speak three or four languages. He's a professor in public law, and he was very nice person when he was talking as a father to all the students and encouraged them to continue their studies.